Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and we are doing another winter week in the life of. We've been trying to do a few of these. They were really popular last year in the warm months. They're a little more difficult in the summer, or I mean a little more difficult in the winter. So, but if you listen, hear the birds chirping? We're having a warm week. It's the end of February, and this time of year in our part of the country, we start to get a little bit of, we'll get some warm breaks through the end of February and into March, where it'll start feeling almost like spring. So this week is like that. If you live in the Northeast, or you live somewhere else in the world that you have heavy winter and spring, you know what it's like. We all get really excited. So the birds chirping, everything in the earth is excited when the weather starts to warm up. So this week is one of those weeks, so we got a lot planned. We'll walk in and go see Mike first and see what he's got going on and what we got planned for this week. So, what's up? Week in the life of.
It's another day in paradise.
Holy crap.
A lot of not fun stuff to ship. Big stuff. We got bell housing, a pair of wheels, a grill, this gas tank.
It's it's pretty varied. Look, you even have, what is this? This is like
a
80.
Shelby gauge cluster, or Dodge Shelby or whatever they were.
Oh yeah.
Daytona.
Yeah, we've been, so you've been going through some of the older pallets of stuff that was kind of like miscellaneous
Random stuff.
And so if you've been watching our eBay.
We'll show this. We sold this.
Oh yeah.
So this is a pretty rare 1930s map for California. It's just sold it for $175. So
this is, if you guys listen to our podcast, Mike and I were talking about, like last year we learned, one of the things our Mike and I say now is everything sells. So we've been, stuff that we used to leave behind or not care as much about, we've been taking, and then sometimes like this, it takes a year later. So this was what, from the Mad Scientist estate?
Yeah, yep.
So he had like suitcases filled with paperwork and memorabilia and magazine cutouts, and some of it we actually still left behind. I think we got most of the like good stuff, but like we were going through all of it, and it was the end of the day, and we were getting like really tired. Like, man, I don't know if we want to take it. And then we saw some other stuff that was like kind of interesting. Like, you know what? Let's just take these two suitcases of stuff, and foot lockers. And Mike's now going through it, and like I never would have guessed.
I sold, this one was $175, and I sold a different map for $90, I think.
Yeah, so if
now,
you get,
the majority of the maps are like $5, $10.
Yeah.
Two or three good ones, it's like, hey.
Yeah, that makes it all worth it. So like, and another thing we always say is there's $100 bills laying around on the ground all the time that we sometimes step over. So this is us doing our due diligence. So it's going to be warm this week. Do you have anything you want to knock out this week?
I got to get the forklift running.
So the forklift broke again.
Yes, so I got to figure that out. If I can get the forklift running, I'll put the pallets where they belong, out of the way.
Okay. We are going to get the forklift running. That's the answer. We've been having a starter problem with this forklift since like the week we got it, and we thought we had it all fixed.
It's been really good for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, Steve and I talked about it. I did a little repair because it was missing some clip, and I tack welded with the TIG like to it. It's because we didn't have that little clip. I don't know if my tack weld broke, and that's what happened. That's what Steve was thinking. So Steve's finishing up some brake lines. We'll show you in a minute a little bit what he's got going. So,
but maybe later this weekend, work on the office, try and get the plywood in. Would be a plan.
But yeah, we're gonna get the forklift going. You could see we got like stuff like this that we got from the one estate with the trailer and stuff we've been showing. This stuff's just like, is that from them already wrapped, or do we?
No, I condensed 5 pallets down to 3.
Oh, good.
And wrapped this. I wrapped this one. Was literally about to put it up on the wall, and it was like the forklift doesn't start.
Great. So that's some of the stuff we're trying to get with.
Then we got 2 carts stuffed in this aisle.
Holy moly!
Have anywhere to put it.
Yeah. So with spring coming, we're trying to knock out some stuff we didn't get done in the winter time. So we're gonna run the power, get the office done. get some of this stuff cleared out. I put a plea up on my personal Facebook that I was looking to get rid of this freaking truck. I love it, but we're at a room. We have some estates coming up that might have vehicles, so we're like looking to trade or whatever. So we have somebody, a viewer that's interested to buy it outright. We're going to give him, he seems, outright would be better because trading for stuff is just sometimes muddies it, or labor or whatever. So
it is funny how hard it is to sell a cheaper vehicle like this, and then we sell a car that's $30,000,
and it's like in 5 minutes.
It's like going to the grocery store and buying groceries. Super simple, easy transaction. This is like trying to buy or sell a house.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. So we don't want to part it out, so we're trying to get it sold. So that's the plan. We're going to try and get rid of that thing, but it probably won't be this week. So walk over to the shop, see what Steve's working on. I'll talk about what I got going on, and then we're going to get to work on Monday. All right, we're going to walk over to Steve, see what Steve's got going on. I'll show what I got going in the shop. Don't mind the noise. We got already fan and different stuff going in here. So it's Monday, Steve. What? You're continuing last week's adventure of...
Like neither of us ever left. We come back in right back to where we were Friday.
The floors are a little cleaner. I cleaned up at the end of the day yesterday.
That is true.
So you got brake stuff?
Yeah, everything's painted. It's all ready to go in. It's just final assembly now, basically.
Okay, so we got, if you guys didn't see it, we did a kind of like OEM plus, quotations, juice brake conversion using factory parts. We love doing that. So after some engineering, figuring out, Steve and I kind of got that going. Steve did all the heavy lifting. I just came in and welded a couple things, and that was, I don't even know what all I did. I don't remember anymore. I helped a little bit, but not a lot. And Steve, as you can see, he's got the copper nickel brake line here that he's about to run. Everything else is pretty good. So hopefully this week it's straightforward, like just brake lines, bleed them, the simple stuff.
Exactly.
Simple, but
yeah.
We never know what's going to happen, because it's old stuff. So that's the main thing. I talked about with Mike, we got to try and get that forklift fixed. So Mike and yourself, maybe later this week, we'll try and get that starter going. We're hoping it's just by tack weld and we can re-tack weld it, exactly. But we don't know. So that's what Steve's got going. I don't know where my pattern is. Oh, here. I kind of started on, I took a break this past weekend working on anything. Normally I work on the weekends, or at least Sunday, but I did not because I was kind of worn out and mentally exhausted from doing these windows. But I already made my template to go in here for this window. So what I'm going to do is actually transfer this shape or pattern to a piece of like like 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch. I don't know what I got laying around, wood. And then I'm going to use that probably for a buck to make the stainless for this door. What I'm trying to figure out right now, I was going upstairs and looking at a bunch of the cars, is how to there's a little lip here on the door that's hard to pick up. So I'm trying to figure out do I cut that lip out to allow me to get the stainless to come up into the other piece of stainless. So that's what I'm figuring out today. And then hopefully this week I'm going to be making all the stainless for the doors so that we can roll up those windows, and all that will be done. I'll be very happy if I get all that done this week. We'll see. It's a long process. So that's what we have going on. We're going to get busy and hopefully get a lot done this week. All right, it is Wednesday. Birds are chirping, super warm this week, so we have a ton planned. We are already kicking into high gear for spring, and as always, as soon as it starts getting warm, things go crazy with us buying stuff and everything going on. So we already got a couple things going on, and I wanted to show you first thing this morning. I had a delivery late last night. My buddy Rob went and picked up a bunch of stuff from Virginia, the estate where we got the sedan delivery. He went there and picked some stuff up because not last minute, but they decided recently they were selling the property and going to have an estate sale company come in. So they called me and said there was a few things you were interested in last time you were here that you didn't have time to grab. Do you want them? So we made a deal over the phone. Luckily, Rob lives close, and he's run and picked stuff up for me before, so paid him a few bucks to do that. So he picked it up at like 9:30 a.m., and it was here at like 7:30 or 8 o'clock last night. I was unloading. It was dark, so I didn't even set the camera. But anyways, this is Columbia stuff. I know the sun's making it a little hard, but this is basically a Columbia conversion. This was all that, if you ordered the conversion, this is all that you would get, and then you use these pieces. Other than the switches and solenoids and stuff, other pieces, this is the main part that you would have gotten. So bought that from them. That was sitting in the garage. Warren had owned everything when he was there when we were getting the car and some other parts from the house. He couldn't remember the condition of it, so I bought it as is, but it looks pretty clean. The other cool thing I just pulled the tarp off because we just dropped these last night since it was dark and late, and Rob was just trying to get on his way. So got a 59 AB. We think this was sitting in the house. Our buddy Andy that hooked us up with the deal, he bought like a 46.8 two-door sedan from the storage units that we showed. And we think this was the spare engine that might have been rebuilt, but we don't really know. So we gave Andy a deal on a known good running engine that he put in the car to get it back on the road, and he wasn't willing to take the gamble because, like we always do, you got to put on a run stand, run it, test it, and he just wanted something he could slide in there, known good. So I ended up buying this. We think, my spidey senses when buying this old stuff, it's all repainted. It doesn't even hardly look like anything, like even the head bolts barely have any paint off of them. If you look at the belts, the belt groove in the water pump pulley doesn't even look like there was belts on this potentially. I'm not sure. So hard to say, did somebody dress up an old, just do a repaint on it and it's not good? I don't know, but I have hopefully a good feeling. Oh yeah, definitely a repaint there. It looks like it was done almost in the car because this stuff's hidden. So I'm hoping it's a good engine. I bought both of these engines on a, hunch. Warren didn't keep junk stuff at his house. All the junk stuff was, or stuck engines were at the storage buildings where the stand delivery was. So hoping this is a good one. This is the other one. This is a APA. When we were there, Warren was telling me his memory was kind of, he's having a little trouble with memory. So he was trying to remember what this was for, but I think we got out of him that he bought it from a friend. It was a spare engine, like all of us crazy antique car and hot rod guys. You got to have a spare engine for your car. So he had this as a spare, and he said he bought it because it was like more hopped up than the one that was in his car. So I grabbed it because I was pretty sure it was a good engine. He wouldn't have kept this in the garage all nice and covered if it wasn't for that. So Rob grabbed all this stuff, pretty cool. Edelbrock intake. It's got a 4-barrel heads. It's got a Edelbrock 4-barrel intake. I'll probably pass this on, sell this, and put a more nostalgic intake on it. And then it's got a Mallory dual point on it. So it's good. All the signs are pointing to this as a good engine. So pretty stoked on that. Mike had a fantastic idea on that one too. I'm gonna flip you around. Mike had a fantastic idea on that one. We're slowly, in between other stuff, we've been tinkering on that 32 two-door sedan. We already let you guys know we were going to be Moon's on guard. Come on, Moon. Moon, come on. Come on, let's go. Come on, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let Steve come in. Come on. I was talking about those engines, but Moon our guard dog had to let everybody know that Steve's here. Like that. Yeah. late night unloading last night. Come on, Boone, get out of the way. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Come on, get away. So yeah, the idea with that engine, sorry for the interruption, that's every time somebody comes, Moon has to let the neighborhood know. So Mike had a great idea, put that APA in this 32, which, oh, you coming in? Okay. Mike had a great idea, put it in this 32 because it's already a good engine, just swap a couple parts to make it a little more nostalgic like we want to do. And we'll probably have a really good running engine if we bolt a trans to it. So that's actually a lot simpler. We have some stock engines in the other building that we were going to hop up a little bit with a cam and some heads and stuff, but that takes obviously a bunch of time to do all that, and that one we're able to drop in. And so even though I have a lot of engines, sometimes I'll buy stuff like that because it's just a quicker way to getting to where we want to be with getting cars on the road. So that's the plan for that. Last little thing I got going here is I got roughed in yesterday the first door stainless here. So this sucker is long. It's the whole, the whole opening here, much more difficult than the quarter windows. Luckily, this just needs to go up and down and not swing, but this is the piece I'm making here, and I rough sanded it and everything. It needs a little bit of heating and adjusting of the shape, but going in the right direction. Really stoked on that. So that's the video I'm working on. Steve is just about done the brakes. We just got to do some bleeding and buttoning up the last couple of things. So that's what we got going on Wednesday.
All right, so scrap trailer's empty, back at the shop. Yesterday, I organized hubcaps, probably the most boring thing ever. But our hubcap shelf was like disaster. There was stuff overflowing. There's piles of boxes on the floor with hubcaps. So I spent a couple hours and just organized. I got one shelf done. I need to finish the second shelf, but I got the bottom shelf is all Ford, Mercury, and Lincoln down here to here, and then I just put some Cadillac caps just to fill in the space. Then I'm going to start up top and do Chevy, Oldsmobile, Buick, and then down here will be off-brand like Packard, and I got a bunch of singles of just like random hubcaps. I might just make a pile on the floor and blow out a bunch of these wheel covers. Full wheel covers here. There's like Nash and Rambler, nothing great, and then I got a bunch of singles here I got to go through. So just continuing to organize because it's a mess. I got a whole cart empty from that estate, so that's progress. Maybe work on some other pallets of parts today with the rest of the day. I think on Friday we're going back to that estate to get more stuff because the building isn't full enough. There's more room in here, so I'm gonna get to work organizing. Yeah. Try how about now? Still need it.
He's like, oh, well it didn't. I'm like, yeah, that would have freaked me out.
Yeah, good thing you didn't send me the photo of the chain at the end. Oh
God, that just gives me shivers doing it. Man, imagine if it was some super, ooh, that's all ported. It's all smoothed out.
Yeah.
And it's opened up to the
intake size.
Yeah, the gasket matched, as they say. In fact, you could still see like where they cut out the gasket too. So it's port matched to the intake. I have to sacrifice a gasket, I'm afraid.
Good thing we have like
600. I don't know how many APAs I have.
Oh, that's right. The front's a little different.
Ooh, it's a little gunked up in there. Little gunky, but not terrible. Adjustable tappets with the holes drilled to adjust them.
Yeah, it looks more like the paint's coming off than anything.
Yeah, you're right. That kind of looks. Oh yeah, it's Clipdall. That's why a lot of people don't love Clipdall, because it can over time break down and start going into your engine. So that's a little bit of a bummer, because I mean,
look down the valve. You can't really see on camera, but the valves look super clean.
Yeah.
To the stems.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do about the paint coming off. That's not. Somebody Glipdalled it, which is great, but they also.
It's not really. It's just flaking off. You might be able to just vacuum.
Well, you got to get all the stuff that's.
Yeah.
You know, that's. I think we just blow it out real good and vacuum it, and probably have to do brake clean and all that to try and clean it as good as we can. So I think we're going to. I talked about it earlier. Mike had a fantastic idea of using these in the two-door sedan. Might be kind of cool. So we're gonna I have some slingshot, Edelbrock slingshots, so the parts would match, because it's kind of geeky like that. So maybe we'll put that on there. The only thing I don't love is that these heads were painted gray, but it looks fine.
Yeah, that car's gonna have a hood on it too.
Yeah. So
the only thing we need is we need a starter plate. We'll need 32 mounts for the front.
Yep.
And an intake, and we can probably make some noise.
Yeah. Follow the points on the Mallory. It's got this old Mallory dual point on it. Needs some plug wires, but I think we can do something about that. So that might be one of our next.
It might go in sooner than later.
Yeah, it might go in. Oh, actually, these are loose.
Oh, I wonder if they had an oil. Oh, the plugs are loose.
Yeah. I could see the valve. It doesn't look totally clean. I'll have to shine a light down there and see, but hopefully this is a pretty good one and can go in the 32. Somebody definitely, actually, if you look, are your head studs punched? Somebody punched them to keep track of the when they were torquing them, probably, or something. See, mine are punched.
Oh yeah, the ones on my side aren't.
Oh, that's weird. Don't know.
But
anyways, we'll find out, but that's cool. Looks decent inside. Not as good as I was hoping, but
it doesn't look like it's been run 10,000 miles.
No, the oil is clean. It's, if anything, that Glipdall looks is the worst looking part of it.
Yeah.
So we'll do another gasket up and open it up, but yeah, this is gonna go right in the garage, and it'll probably get worked on in between the 18 other projects, and then this one will this one we'll have to take apart and look at a little later. We're gonna just put it in here for now, and this summer we get a lot of times where Steve has in between projects, and we just pull an engine in and take a look at it and run it. So good fun. Another engine. Where do we put it?
Engines.
Yeah,
Plural.
Grill trim.
Head up slow. Alrighty, we're here at this local estate that we've been dragging pallet loads of stuff back from. We are going to attack it a little differently today. We got the majority of the pallets they had pre-staged. There's a few over in the corner over there we're probably gonna grab today, but our big goal is to get some stuff organized. All the stuff in the trailer is just a pile and kind of a mess. So we're gonna work on pulling as much out of there as we can today and trying to organize it on pallets so we can take it all over time. So I brought 5 or 6 pallets with us. There's a few here. So we're just gonna work on emptying some of that trailer, making like item pallets. So transmissions, oil pans, air cleaners, and just get through it. Our first big task for the day is there's a ton of sheet metal that we moved to the front of the trailer the last time. We're gonna pull it all out. I'm gonna photograph whatever we don't already have listed and just put it up on eBay and then stash it here, because some of it may take a while to sell. If it sells, I'll just come over here, grab it, and send it on its way. But for the meantime, we at least have it photographed and listed. It's just here waiting for its chance to be taken to the other building. So Steve and I are here a little early. We're gonna get to work. Matt's on his way with the scrap trailer. That's a big thing we wanna accomplish, is cleaning out some of the stuff that's just scrap and get some space cleared out. There's a whole pile of exhaust tubing over here that we're probably gonna scrap just because we don't have a use for it. It's older, it's starting to rust. Just get it out of our way. There's a lot of stuff here we need to clear out. So we're gonna get to work in the trailer. There's a mountain of transmissions that's right inside the door. Steve and I are gonna work on clearing that out first so we can have some working space. You have to climb over a mountain to get into the trailer. So set up the camera, get to work. All right, we're finished up for the day. Fortunately, I locked the trailer already and I'm not unlocking it. It's a bit of a process. We got a bunch of the trailer cleared out. I'll put a clip here of when we were here the first time, how full it was when Matt was in here.
Okay, I'm definitely not getting in now. Whoa, shit. Dude, there's 3 feet down.
Just take a gander on how much progress we made. So you can see the floor and this whole back half, and we're cleared up to that blue rack. Now there's a bunch of stuff still in here, but we cleared out a lot of the just scrap to get rid of. So we got probably a third of the scrap cleared out. Then we got the rest to do. But this gives us a better idea of what's in here. A bunch of those steering boxes are like 37 to 48. Have a bunch of that stuff right now. So as we run low, I know that there's some here. We can come grab them. The trailer's not that full. We only took 1 pallet. There's probably about 3 pallets worth of stuff between just the stuff from the trailer that we just threw in the front, and there's 1 cart that's kind of full. Definitely not the most we've ever taken from here, but we're getting down to the not fun stuff. So there's a bit in here. We're also kind of limited for space. The warehouse is getting a little full, so we're running out, but we got some things cleaned up, sorted through. That is all transmissions. That's next time's problem.
Oh, goody.
And we got some pallets over here with just transmissions that we'll go through as we need them. We have 4 pallets worth of transmissions ourselves. So if you need some later Ford transmissions, we will have an inventory of them. There's a good amount. So pulled all the body panels, photographed them, put them over here. We can come grab them as need be. Stainless, that's a next year problem, I think. There's a lot of stainless in there. So that's it for us for today. Matt's actually going on a little adventure tomorrow with Big Red to pick up some 46 to 8 stuff, I believe. A bunch of NOS panels. So we're gonna load up, head out for the day. Nice early day on Friday. I think it's what, 3 o'clock?
Right around there, yep.
Yeah, so nice easy day for us on, well.
Easy.
Easy, it was an early day, so.
I'll give you an early.
Yeah, I misspoke. So we'll pack everything up and roll out and heal up for next week to unload all this. All right, so it's Monday morning. We're gonna finish off this week in the life of by getting the truck empty. Matt, he unfortunately couldn't film where he was at. The people just asked him not to film. So this came from a local collector. A lot of 46.8 stuff. There's some other odds and ends mixed in. So I'm gonna get the truck unloaded, kind of just puke it out onto the floor, figure out where we're gonna put it from there. But let's get the truck empty and we'll show you guys what we bought. All right, so we got everything unloaded. Just give you a quick tour. I believe those are 31 Model A front fenders because the splash apron is built into the fender. 39 rear fender skirts. I'm not sure what this Continental covers to. A bunch of 41 to 48 sheet metal. I believe that's a 41 hood, I'm not positive. Either 41 or 42, I gotta run the part number. 2 46.8 hoods. 1 front fender for a 46.8. Believe this is 42 because it's multiple pieces. And then some rear fenders, 36 Packard hood. I need to measure it to figure out if it's a junior or senior. Those cars had different lengths hoods depending on the model. They look the same, they're just different lengths. Garnish molding and a couple bins of just smalls and a briefcase of carburetors. Nothing too crazy, just a good small smattering of stuff. NOS parts are always good to have. While they are 46 to 8, They're not as desirable. They're still good. They take a little longer to move, but NOS is always better than rusty junk. So I got to make some room back there. The fenders aren't as much of a problem as the gigantic hoods are. So I got to make some room back in our 48.6 section. That's a this week problem. I'm going to pull Big Red out, park it outside for a couple days, try and get this handled and get the forklift working. But I need to ship packages for the week, so I got to go around and grab all the stuff that's sold this weekend and get it out. So as always, guys, we appreciate you guys watching. These weekend life ups are kind of fun to put together, show all the random stuff we got going on in any given week. So let's get started on the next one. So we'll see you guys next time. Later.